My name is Rhapsody and welcome back to Cobalt Core. We're moving over to Ares after a successful run in the Jupiter last episode. Still on our general mission to unlock the 5th of the ships. This crewmate will invite herself aboard eventually, don't worry about it. That could be books. That'd make the most sense in terms of characters that we've met who have mysteriously no other role in the story so far. And then the final one's just full question marks. No clue. Maybe the Cobalt itself manifest? As for what we're going to be doing this episode, win 10 runs to unlock the ship, we're doing Ares. So Ares, your inactive cannon is armored. At the start of your turn, if you don't have a toggle cannon in hand, gain 1. For 0 cost, you toggle which cannon is active. It is also very important that Ares is exactly 4 long. There are so many different situations in especially the second and third areas of the game, on the hardest mode as well, wherein being 4 size means you take 3 less damage a turn at a minimum compared to being 4 size. And it's also worth noting, it's 4 size, but one of its ends is armored at all times for the Ares. It is very powerful. Its offense is a little bit lower, right? It's drawing 1 less card per turn. It does have the ability to change where it's aiming from, but it needs to be impactful. I suspect I should probably just keep rigs. I like rigs a lot. More draw, flexible movement, energy comes often with rigs as well. I do want to keep Max because Max is interesting, has a lot of techie stuff, works relatively well with rigs. So effectively I'm just subbing out Isaac, and I suspect if I'm subbing out Isaac at this point, it's for either Perry or Drake, so that I've got someone on board who is at least well known for their largely powerful attacks. If I took Drake, in the base deck I would have the ability to stun, which is very, very powerful, especially if I can do it without moving against 2 different positions of the enemy. Okay, let's go with this. Riggs, Drake, and Max in the Ares. Losing a max shield is probably not really going to change almost anything about this run. I'm probably never going to have more than 4 shield at a time. I certainly won't if I lose the max shield. Ooh, replace Warp Prep with a random boss artifact. Gain a random rare card is really appealing here as well. Remove a card, then gain 1 of 3 common cards. That's also really nice. Damn. Taking a basic shot out of the deck and then suddenly giving me something to start working around. I think common cards are often quite good in this game. Let's do it. Okay. There's certainly stuff to work with here. So Panic. Definitely worth noting that there's not that many options outside of Dizzy consistently for gaining shield. So 1 cost that gives us 1 shield and accomplishes something else is a lot more valuable in a world where we don't have Dizzy. Move 2 spaces in a random direction, gain 1 shield, and then attack. My main problem here, obviously, is the attacks are doing nothing whatsoever. I could change it to Panic A, so I can choose the direction in which we move. I mean, a dodge that also shields you. The attack doesn't even need to be relevant to this card. There's also Whiplash, which we saw used to great effect in the last episode. But that was, of course, because we had Strafe stacked up, which meant that moving twice was particularly impactful for us. I don't imagine we want damage from rigs as a primary here, especially considering we have Drake. Final, and this is the one I'm considering the most, is Worm. Gain 2 temp shield, add a temp worm to your discard pile. This could also give us normal shield even. Adds it to the discard pile. So I would want a thicker deck to avoid effectively paying the downside of this. I mean, if it's sticky, I could just use that with admin deploy to just burn out Worm A, which would generate another Worm A in my hand for later effect if I needed even more temp shield on that turn. So it's just as much temp shield as I need on an instantaneous single turn. I like that.
Max, wake up!
Huh?
I want to know. Sorry, I want you to know. I use the password you give me. I've been analyzing my source code, and I think I finally know what I am.
Yeah?
Yes.
Well, what are you?
I can't tell you yet,
Okay.
but I know what I need to do.
Is it gonna be cool?
Extremely.
Sick.
Oh, we love this position, where I can just use a single toggle cannon in order to avoid the damage with the old shielding at the end of the turn. Obviously, we should fire on the enemies first. I'm going to use Draw Shot. Yeah, I'm going to specifically burn the basic shot out of the deck as well, using Admin Deploy here, and then gain... You know what? If I use a basic dodge and move one space over, that's as good as toggling cannon and playing a shield. EMP Slug, I could use this to prevent the enemy from providing a status effect on themselves, and then I could immediately even heatsink off the negative. Oh, right, I forgot about this Nombo. Toggle Cannon sits in our hand before other sticky cards, which is going to be a little bit annoying for Max's ability to play the leftmost and exhaust it. Perhaps I'll go for a different upgrade on Max. 2 temp shielding. I mean, I just play a heatsink at the end of the turn and I'm fine, right? Fire a single shot on the enemy, heatsink out of the way, gain a dodge. We just need to do damage at every available opportunity. EMP Slug against the enemy's generation of armor there. Saving me a little bit of effort. Single basic shot, scramble, move one over. Got him. Draw Shot has to get me the EMP Slug for the kill. Math.max. For 1 cost, draw 10 cards. Oh boy. Next turn, draw 2 fewer. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. I really want that. I really want that. I want that a lot. I want that too much. There's also Vamoose here. Move in a random direction 3 spaces and then also gain 4 evade. Incredibly dense get out of dodge effect right there. Math.max is common. I might find it again later. Vamoose, less likely. If I took Vamoose, that would probably be all the movement I actually need to add to this deck. Alright, come along, Vamoose. You're with me. Definitely gonna reroll for safety here. And then if I toggle which cannon is active, I can start taking shots against the enemy and gain even some evade for a later turn. Quick draw shot. I want to toggle which cannon's active, move over left 1 space, and then fire an EMP Slug on the enemy to prevent them from gaining any more armor. I'm fine with them giving me this 3 trash. Yeah, Vamoosing in either direction is safe here. Got him. Now I just have a ridiculous amount of evade. Toggle which cannon's active. Line back up with the enemy gaining shield. No thank you. I would like this to be a quick fight. I do want to use that heat sink. I'm just going to full move out of the way. Easy draw. No reason not to just burn out some trash here. Adding to my discard pile is now fine, so I can use Worm much more actively in order to defend myself. And I'll be using it this turn. Which is active, move over, 5 EMP slug. Maybe I was too aggressive here. If I had a second damage card, I think this would have worked out a lot better, but I'm going to play that basic dodge, leaving more trash in my deck, which is actually starting to open me up to, yeah, exactly, rigs. Rigs brought snacks, I like it. I love it. Throw the reroll for full safety. 4 more damage to the enemy. Sure, I'm not able to completely do that right now, but we're getting there. I'll use admin deploy to get rid of one of the statuses in the deck. Worm, toggle cannon, and then admin deploy and trash. Woohoo! No hull damage sustained that turn. EMP slug for the finisher. Oh my god, you can't stop me from taking second opinions here. Draw 1 card of each color from the draw pile. Thank you. Very easy in a world where I already have a copy of Scramble and Vamoose in the base deck. Alright, let's move down. Got an enemy doing auto dodge, so if I just fire on them, they will be too far away to attack me back. They're going left. Punish that. How did you expect I would do that, Drake? Fire a single basic shot. I can move 2 spaces over and then use a single EMP slug. 3 damage on the enemy is probably the most... It's probably the best idea, to be honest. Especially because I still have in my deck, yeah, exactly, Vamoose. Oh, I'll use admin deploy to play out Vamoose, actually. So let's play the Worm, and toggle the cannon, and admin deploy the Vamoose. Perfect. Draw 1 card from each color. Now, I move to the left. I fire a basic shot. The enemy moves and dodges to the left, giving me the ability to toggle my cannon and still be within their range. Then I use Heat Sink to move 1 space back over, as well as reduce my fire, and admin deploy for the EMP slug against the enemy. Now I just need to use every available instance of damage I have in the deck, because I burned that out. This turn I cannot actually generate any damage on the enemy, so I'm just going to move out of the way. Which I actually could have done by toggling the cannon and taking a shot against the enemy rather than expending one of my own movement there. That's it. I'll toggle the cannon this time. Draw shot. Basic shot. And basic dodge, move out of the way again. 1 more damage. That's all we need. The 1 more damage. shouldn't play the basic shot out like this. Oh, but next turn I have 2 attacks. Oh yeah, I'm fine. I did that on purpose, yes. So I play draw shot and draw into a basic shot to take the enemy out. I need a damage card. I've needed a damage card for a while. Freeze dry. You aren't damage. Piercing attack. Ignore all shields and armor and engine lock. This ship cannot move. Disabling movement for an enemy ship. I mean, that does give me the ability to keep out of their space for a while, but unless I'm doing something while I'm keeping out of their space, that's less useful for me. But it is a unique effect. Maybe it's just worth it. Maybe I'm undervaluing. Hotfoot. Could upgrade in order to reduce heat as well as give evade, but we already have the Vamoose. I'll take the freeze dry. I'm still not certain about the value of that, but I think I'll find it over the course of playing it. Upgrade here has to be for damage. I'm going for the EMP Slug B. 5 damage in a single shot, baby. Especially because I'm about to face up against an elite here being George. I can prevent the enemy from gaining their shoot back effect here by slugging them right in the missile bay. And I will do. And a basic shot to follow it up. I'm not going to use second opinions. Don't need to. Obviously, I don't want to draw into anything if I can't use it. Single basic dodge, and that will set up for an admin deploy. It's just whether or not I want to use toggle and freeze dry first. I think I do. Toggle, I'll freeze dry the enemy, and then I'm going to admin deploy Vamoose out. It plays it for free, and it exhausts it, but we're already going to exhaust, so no problem. No harm, no foul. Move 1 further space away, keep myself on 5 evade here. That's it. Not really a exceptionally powerful turn for us right there. No, I fired on the enemy and they fired back. Thankfully, it was only against the armor that I had. Hey boy. That's still not great for us though. I do want to play Heatsink, but I also don't want to move to the right, so...
We toughie.
I'm going to play Heatsink and move to the right and then still move 2 spaces back. Send out a shot. And gain another basic dodge by the end of the turn. Unfortunately, I won't be able to play EMP Slug unless I end up drawing on exactly the same turn as Heatsink, because otherwise I am going to be burning my hull. That said, I'm still making some good progress on the enemy's body here. I will play Second Opinions. Even if it draws the slug, I enable myself to gain an additional shield, and I wasn't going to be able to play the slug in the next hand, almost certainly anyway. Veer 1 to the left, so the enemy can't line themselves back up with me. I'll be using a freeze dry this turn, probably. Yeah, no reason not to. Enemy can't move, still not lined up with me, and boom, take him out with the EMP cannon. Don't have to worry about the overheat if the enemy's too dead. Hello, honey. Oh boy. Oh, I want a lot of these. Okay, so we have math.max. Saw it just before, still want it. Root access, 0 cost. Rightmost card gains retain for the rest of combat. You can either upgrade it to rightmost 2 cards, gain retain, or rightmost card gains recycle for the rest of the combat. So recycle, of course, is if you play this, put it directly back atop your deck. And then finally we have Ventilator. For 1 cost, discard 1 random card, draw 2 cards, lose 1 heat, infinite. The card is not discarded when played. Oh my god, Ventilator A is for 1 mana, draw 2 cards, and lose 1 heat? Ventilator B is for 1 mana, discard 2 random cards, draw 4, ventilate 2 heat. Oh my, I'm taking Ventilator. I didn't... I did want to. I really did want to. I was gonna say I didn't want to, but I did. In my heart of hearts, that's what I wanted. Quick draw, draw 2 additional cards on the first turn. There's also jet thrusters, gain 2 evade on the first turn. I think drawing the additional cards on the first turn is probably more valuable for us here. A much larger hand deals much better with Ventilator. Strong start. Oh my god. Gain 1 boost at the start of your first turn of combat. And now also this has been changed. Thank you to the comment section for making me aware of this change in particular. That boost no longer counts shielding as a status. That's perfect. But what status will we be gaining? Heat probably definitely counts as a status, right? So it's only evade that I can actually get. Oh boy. I need to find something else to also benefit from boost in my deck.
Unmanned ship up ahead, and it's hailing us?
Well, back. How may I help you? 2 random cards gain upgrade A or upgrade B, baby! I want B on Ventilator. I want A on Heatsink. I want B on Freeze Dry. I want A on Admin Deploy. I want B at this point, actually, on Worm. And I want B on Vamoose. I want A on almost all of the basics. This is difficult. I think I have to go A on the balance of things. Well, look, Admin Deploy got the best of it, but the thing is, Admin Deploy lowered its cost to cast Vamoose for free. I guess I'm not always casting Vamoose with Admin Deploy. That's just playing around here, the best case scenario. Do you need any other assistance?
No, thank you. You may shut down now.
Yes, Commander.
It's hard seeing an AI in that kind of state.
Oh, wow. I can keep this enemy away from me with the freeze dry. Sure, let's do it. Boom, big old freeze dry right there. And I think I'm actually probably best set by using the scramble here in order to gain 3 evade, including the boost. Also gives me the ability to actually play EMP Slug when I draw into it. Alright, let's move 1 space back over to the left, draw shot. Vamoose for even more. Yeah. Sure. Even more movement, that would have been. I'm going to toggle which cannon's active. I'm going to move over 2 spaces, fire an EMP Slug, and then Heat Sink immediately thereafter. Trying to get back to, yes, the protection provided by these asteroids. If they're on the field, I might as well utilize them. I'd have to use 2 movement in order to do 2 damage this turn, just sending both of the shots flying through the middle. But it still does put me in a little bit of a better position for the later turns, so I'm happy to do it, and it leaves me with 2 movement. I'm already relatively movement rich in this fight. That looks like an EMP Slug and a Freeze Dry for a kill to me. Seer represents the damage that I've been asking for. For 2 cost, it will fire 2 piercing shots that do 2 damage each, and also give us 1 heat. I can upgrade it not to give the heat, or I can upgrade it in order to stun with both of attacks and increase its heat. I'm definitely leaning towards Seer right now, but there is some value certainly in Heat Wave. Heat Wave is Overdrive, add 1 damage to all attacks, decreases by 1 at the end of the turn, and it would come first. So if I drew Heat Wave, then it would be a really powerful boost effect for Strong Start, If I drew Heatwave B, instead of getting Overdrive, which decreases 1 per turn, I would get Power Drive, which stays. That would be a really, really good way to start getting some power in this deck. And I think I'm going to do it. Let's take Heatwave. Your shield lasts between combats. Admittedly not that bad for us because Nope. For some reason I thought I already had Worm upgraded to B. I don't. Overclock Generator, gain an extra energy every 3rd turn. Considering the amount of draw that I'm putting in this deck, and admittedly, almost every deck that ever has rigs in it, and also probably every deck that has max in it. Hey, I have a playstyle, whatever. It's just fine. It's all good. I'm gonna take that. Energy works. Good for me. I'm gonna take the Heatwave upgrade immediately to B. It's time to fight this entity. Send a draw shot out on the field. I will scramble and then use admin deploy to burn out one of the worst cards there. Obviously, I didn't want to play anything that gave me heat without giving me a status first because I'm scared of getting 3 heat immediately. Pop off Heatwave B here. I forgot. Oh god. This is fine, but I did forget the whole plan of saving boosts for Heatwave B when I gained that extra evade on turn 1. Ah, booger. Alright, Ventilator randomly ventilates a card from hand. It ventilated Toggle Cannon, unfortunately. Which is not what we wanted to see there. Because now I have to draw back into that manually, always having another one in hand already. Okay. I'm gonna pop Ventilator. Admin deploy out a basic shot, burning it out of the deck as well. I can move 3 spaces in any direction, I wouldn't be too sad about it. But honestly, I think I should probably just pop damage. Well, at least until now, when it seems like moving is definitely better. And I'll keep my shielding even. For 1 card of each color, there's only 2 cards with color different in the deck at this point. I'll fire on the enemy with all of the available damage, basic shot, freeze dry, and then I toggle my cannon back, move 1 space over. We're back in the arms of safety. Again, 1 space over, and I fire an EMP slug to cancel the incoming attack, a single basic shot, 7 damage that turn. Heatsink already gets me out of dodge here, can't be sad about that. And given the amount of evade I have at this point, I will gain a basic worm in addition to my evade. Sorry, my basic worm, basic evade in addition there. I'm gonna gain 2 temp shielding for this turn, so that when I toggle and fire with a draw shot here, I guarantee that I'm taking no damage. Oh, cool. I can fire an EMP slug, and then I'm not going to overheat as well, because I'm going to use admin deploy to play out Ventilator for free. Lowering my heat back below the threshold. Maximum damage matters. Ooh, I really feel like I'm extremely rich on resources at all times here. It's beautiful. Move over 1 space to the left and fire a draw shot. Incoming damage this turn is 3. I'll use admin deploy on Worm. Firing out another basic shot. And I don't need to play heat sinks. It's not going to be relevant. Damage this turn is 1. Boom. Because the next time I find an EMP slug, the enemy was already going to be dead. Okay, oh boy. Hand cannon. How commonly is my hand going to be stupid big? Not necessarily extremely commonly. Heat Wave would tend to suggest that I want many small attacks, not large attacks like that. But Strafe also says, Strafe, fire for 1 damage immediately after every move you make. Fire, not attack, fire. So I suspect that Heat Wave won't add to that. It won't count as an attack when it's triggered in that way. I think I take Hand Cannon and take the draw effect of Hand Cannon. It's going to be big damage, it's just not going to be huge. And that'll be good enough. And if I get more draw into the deck, it'll be ridiculous. Thermo Reactor. Drake boss artifact. Yeah, a little bit scared of this one. Gain 1 extra energy per turn. Gain 1 heat per turn. Oof. Warp Mastery. The most basic of all. Replace Warp Prep with Warp Mastery, so you gain 3 shield and 3 evade on the first turn instead of 1 of each. And then finally, Tri-Dimensional Cockpit. Oh. This is a max boss artifact. Permanently replace your cockpit with empty scaffolding. Lose half your max hull on pickup. So that's the brittle position. It's that. It's 100% that. I cannot actually see the world where it isn't. Hey, Books! Hello? 1! Did it work? Whoa! Ta-da! How did you do that? Crystals are magic. It's scientifically proven. Excuse me? I couldn't help but notice that you have a special role in this time loop. Could I, join your crew one of these times? I don't even see how we could stop you. Okay, I'll see you real soon. Yep. Called it. She has invited herself onto the crew. I wonder what her playstyle's like. Oh my god. That empty Oh, this is so good. This cockpit change seems cowardly. What do you mean? What are you talking about? It's genius. Speaking of genius, let's play Heatwave B first, gaining 2 power drive. Now I can start sending out some damage. What with the old draw shot here? I'm gonna gain an evade so that I'm not locked in, but I'll move 1 space over and they can fire through our empty cockpit. I'm gonna give them a big ol' hand cannon and then heat sink myself out of the way of their damage. Single basic shot, and if I toggle my cannon now, I can admin deploy Ventilator out, Scramble out, and then play Ventilator with no cost. Wait, no cost, it discarded itself. Interesting. Regardless, that's not a problem. Literally just move 1 space over, and we're fine. Let's go with a draw from Second Opinions first. Especially just in case that had drawn out the hand cannon. Oh. Draw shot and freeze dry. Yeah, 2 overdrive really early on is sick as hell. And you know what? 2 Overdrive makes Panic a lot better. It does 2 damage in addition to all of these other things. A heatsink for a little bit more movement that also still has heat reduction. I do need heat reduction in this deck because I do want to be able to play Heat Wave. I was hoping that Ventilator would consistently be that heat reduction though. Which I think means I am still pushed in the direction of something else like Panic. How often is Panic just going to miss with its attack? Because it's moving us in a random direction, right? I don't think I have a reasonable way for estimating that. Actually, maybe I don't want Panic. Draw shot. Nothing wrong with drawn. Nothing wrong with drawn. But I don't think I need another one. Alright. First available elite is in a while. Here's an event though.
Is anyone else getting like a really bad headache?
No, it's just from the high-pitched static. What is that?
You all again.
Hello!
Which of you shall I teach this time?
Ooh, I could say I don't trust this, but I do. I do. Obtain 1 of any 2 different cards from a class. I mean, Drake is probably the most reasonable to ask for. Max is probably the least. Let's go Drake. Heatsink and EMP Slug, the base cards in the deck. I mean, there's nothing wrong with EMP Slug. I think I should take a second Heatsink though. Yeah, I'll do it.
Get out of my head!
Worry not. It is not my place to share your secrets.
Shut up!
Energy readings are back to normal.
Has this guy got a voice yet?
You there! Halt thine, astral stallion!
Huh? Hang on, is my auto-translator broken?
Nay, this is just how I talk.
Ah, I see.
Prepare for glorious combat!
You got it, boss.
What say we make this an honorable duel? I shall target thine weak points, if ye deign not to target mine.
I don't have any weak points, buddy. No way.
Ah, a standard battle then. No honor to be gained nor lost. I accept.
Physically, where are we right now?
Annoyingly, I can't do much this turn without expending boost. So, in order not to expend too many things, I'm going to toggle Witch Cannon's active so that Basic Shot does any damage at all, and then I'm going to end my turn. Heavy Missile looks like a sword, love it. Let's toggle Witch Cannon's act. Oh gosh, this is getting difficult to hold out for the heat wave. I'm gonna toggle Witch Cannon's active. I'll move over 1 space and fire Freeze Dry so that I'm not taking any damage this turn. If I use Ventilator, the problem is if I draw into Heat Wave, I won't be able to do anything about it. So I play the Corrupted Core. I leave that turn again. Oh boy, buddy, you're literally taking me through every other card in the entire deck. What a nightmare. Well, I'm committed. And cannon. Can't vamoose. That'd give me way too much. Annoyingly, I actually don't think I can play it. We would take way too much damage. So what, I have to go through the entire second cycle waiting for it? Is that actually what I'm about to do to myself? Second opinions to see if I can draw any safety here. Barely, but I did. There's Heat Wave and can't do anything about it. Yeah, everything here has been poorly done. I'm not standing by any of this. Don't worry, I'm not proud. Now it's time to just hit the vamoose button. Buddy, afterwards it'll be time to hit the vermouth button, you know what I mean? I'm gonna toggle the cat. Sometimes a bad comedian from the 1980s inhabits my body for a period of time. And that's okay. I'm just the vessel through which they speak. Hit him with the AMP slug and then I'll just heat sink my way out of dodge. Love it. Oh, Heatwave B, you treacherous fiend! Hit him with a draw shot and a draw cannon afterwards as well. I mean, no reason not to admin deploy. Heat sink myself one space over, gain another movement. I should have shot earlier, oops. But I do avoid all of the incoming damage from the enemy. And then I'm gonna follow up with a slug and take him out. Cloud save, return an exhausted card to hand. EMP slug again, hotfoot. Cloud save, return an exhausted card to hand. Return an exhausted card to hand. Return an exhausted card to hand. Gaining another heat wave is seldom going to be useful because I have to get down to 0 heat for that to really pop off. Because I never want to actually deny the heat effect of heat wave, which is to say I don't want to gain serenity before I play out heat wave B, because if I do that, serenity is going to be the stat, or the status rather, that gets boosted. Yeah, another copy of Second Opinions, not bad. Or any of the other cards that have been burnt out with the admin deploy. But I really don't think it's necessary. I don't think any of those are necessary. I just want instances of damage, please. Speaking of, baby, these are instances of damage. Here we go. Let's go. Leftmost and exhaust it. I'm gonna burn a heatsink out. But I don't want to play heatsink this turn. I'm gonna freeze dry and move one space to the left. Great, now I can use heatsink. And the damage it would cause would be only 1 to our ship at this point, but if I use a... Honestly, since I've got Scramble and Basic Dodge... No, I've got Vamoose still in the deck. Never mind, I'll fire the hand cannon, and then I'll toggle my cannons, so I'm taking 0 damage this turn. As the Vamoose, I had planned on playing that, and so I will. Let's pop a single copy of Ventilator first. Oh, and it discarded itself. I didn't know it could do that first. It stood to reason it could, but I didn't know it could. I don't want that to be my next stand, so I will use second opinions rather here to draw it out. And single basic block, move one space over, take no damage. I'm taking no damage this turn as well. I may use this just for resources. I'm going to gain some more evade and burn another card out of my deck. Okay, move one space over and fire a draw shot, and then any additional damage, hell yeah, EMP slug. One space further over, and we're not being struck ourselves. Got the freeze dry, and then I will burn out a worm, playing a basic block and a reroll manually, and that's going to be completely fine. I'm more than happy to take 5 damage this turn, and stay lined up for the final shot. Heatwave 2. Math.max. Upgrading this to its 0 cost that exhausts, giving me the ability to fish for Heatwave really early, as well as just have a huge hand for the possibility of other things. Yep, I want Math.max. Give me Math.max. Stun Calibrator. After your first attack each turn, gain a stun charge. Ooh, it is good. Nanofiber hull. Heal 1 after each combat. Yeah, heal what hull? I don't have a hull. I have a papier-mâché ship. Papier-mâché, rather. Ship. And it is held together by goodwill and hope. That's a big Vamoose I can play. I'm gonna play the big Vamoose with the admin deploy. Oh, no damage to me, and then let's use Math.max. Let's draw 10 cards. Oh, there is actually a maximum hand size. Oh, that's so mean. I didn't want that to be the case. Wait. Oh, no. I thought I accidentally gave myself a boosted draw less next turn, but no, I played Vamoose immediately. Of course. How did I... Well, whatever, doesn't matter. I'm gonna just fire on the enemy. It's fine. You stay right there. I'm gonna freeze dry you. You can't attack me next turn. Not allowed. Illegal. That's a classic Heatwave B into the heat sink. Move 1 space over and not take any damage. If I move to the left, I can fire a draw shot. Ooh. Toggle the cannon that's active, and then fire a hand cannon to prevent the enemy from summoning a missile this turn, as well as do 5 damage. Well, actually, I think it was significantly lowered by that point, but still. Heatsink 1 space over, and then fire an EMP slug against the only one that would be hitting me. Seems a good move to my mind. Oh, Math.max doesn't burn out of the deck yet. Beautiful. I'm gonna move 1 space over, toggle the active cannon, fire the basic shot. Math.max. Yep. I only needed 1 more hit. Okay, hot compress. Heal 1 hull, temp shield, heat. Still don't want it. Firewall. If I upgraded this to the ability to reduce heat, I think I might want Firewall in the deck. Nope. Nope. Requires too much investment for me to care about. Overcharger. Every 4 turn, gain an overdrive. Incredible. Let us upgrade Math.max to be 0 cost. Thank you much, Lee. If I just fire hand cannon then freeze dry this turn, I'm already protected against the enemy's cannon hitting my armored side, and their only missile that launches, in my line, launches through the empty cockpit. And it sets us up perfectly to be able to follow up with the Heatwave B. Hang on, how'd I screw it up that time?
What'd I do?
Stun calibrator. Oh, that's screwing with it. After your first attack each turn, gain 1 stun charge. The stun charge was given boost, and then it disappears at the end of the turn. So I can't attack until I have overdrive? Okay, at this point, I'm only playing overdrive if it's available in the opening hand. I can't actually afford to wait for it as long as it might take me to wait for it. That's unfortunate. Oh well.
Okay.
Heat sink ourselves 1 space over and fire a draw shot for safety. I'm going to use mathmax.b after toggling my cannon so that I can prevent a missile from being summoned. I could deal with taking 3 damage this turn. It wouldn't be great, but it'd be fine. Now we have to worry about our hull, but so does the enemy as they die to our hand cannon. Oh, that worm's already upgraded to B. Nope. Not doing it. I don't even want the first worm anymore in this deck. I'm so fickle. These heatsinks being zero, anything becoming 0 cost becomes much more impactful in this deck with the amount of draw we have.
Oh hey, it's Evil Riggs again! Evil Riggs? I'm just normal Riggs. Interesting. So, to you, I'm Evil Riggs? No, I've been calling you Stupid Riggs. I see.
So mean. Let's heat sink ourselves over by 1 position. Negative heat. Because we can't gain it, I don't think will count for the boost. Cool. Happy to fire off a draw shot. Should probably toggle my cannons first. So I'm lined up to the weakness. Pull something with second opinions. There's the hand cannon. So I can stop the enemy from gaining temp armor. With the stun charge that got boosted, unfortunately. And I can use admin deploy A to get the Vamoose out on board. That didn't help us at all. If it went in the other direction, it would have been better. Oops. Happy to move 1 space over and use Heatwave B, toggle my cannon, fire a single basic shot. I don't need to use Mathmax B here. Wouldn't really be able to benefit from it. Okay. Oh, no, I can't use the EMP slug here. I'll take hull damage. Well, I can take 1 hull damage this fight. That's fine. EMP. And then I heat sink 1 space over. So I'm no longer lined up with anything the enemy wants to do. Burn out the corrupted core. And then I have to take the heat. Because I don't want to get out of the kitchen. See how effective this 4-size ship with 1 in the middle? Oh, it's so good. I'm going to toggle my active cannon so I can prevent the enemy from firing a missile and use freeze dry so that basically next turn I'm safe to be in the same position and the enemy is also going to still be in the same position. Yeah, freeze dry is a lot better than I ever give credit for. It has a lot more utility than I tend to be able to think of in the use cases I generate for it when I'm talking about it. There's a basic shot and a scramble. I'm going to move 2 more spaces to the left, firing a single draw shot, getting more in hand for the hand cannon, and then freeze dry for the kill. Thank you for the extra hull. Oh, Ace is already upgraded? 3 cost to gain 1 evade every turn and 2 instantly. That's huge. It's incredible. I'm definitely going to be taking that. Selected memory, choose a card in your drop, I'll put it into your hand. If this was guaranteed to be in my opening hand or something like that so that I could guarantee the effect on Heatwave B, I'd be all over the moon, but Ace is already upgraded. Save state. Save the state you're currently in, the position rather you're currently in, and then load back to it at a later point. Definitely Ace B. Flywheel. Every 10th time you draw a card, gain an energy. So, playing Math Max B with an empty hand draws an energy. That's cool. Gain an evade per turn, you can only have more than 3 evade at any time. Gain an extra energy per turn, gain 1 heat per turn. Definitely Flywheel. Just absolutely mad about drawing. Oh, that's interesting. So I was wondering how this would work. Overcharger. Every 4th turn, gain 1 overdrive. That ticked over at the start of this battle, but it didn't give us 2 overdrive. It didn't account for the boost. I wonder why. Draw 1 card of each color from the discard, from the draw rather. Should definitely do that. Immediately got an extra energy. Unfortunately, as soon as I use my first attack, I'm just getting 2 stun charges for the enemy. Maybe I want 2 stun charges for the enemy, though. Sure, I'll do that. I'm going to freeze dry him. And then I'm going to fire a basic shot, preventing them from gaining temp armor next turn. And then I'm going to toggle my active cannon and fire a draw shot to prevent them from firing on me this turn. I don't need to play Heatsink A. I'll play Admin Deploy and Basic Block, just gain some extra resources this turn. And I'm lined up to make sure the enemy still can't attack me this turn. Although I suspect I'll just use Vamoose. And then Heatsink get completely out of dodge. Oh my god, Ace B. Give me the big old EMP slug and then Ace B. So much evade and I'm only gonna have more. Move 1 space over and fire the draw shot. Setting up for the stun, which I will use, and then I'm going to re-roll my hand, which would have given me the ability to play the Admin Deploy on Heatwave, but I don't want to do that right now. I would definitely, at this point, add Serenity to the deck, and I'd be pretty happy about it. The Serenity plus draw, oh my god, I'd be over the moon. I'm going to risk ventilating. It's the only one I didn't want to burn out. It's fine. It's fine. Perhaps I should ventilate again. And then hand cannon for 8. Move 2 and make no damage for me, thank you. Oh, this'll do it. EMP slug. It won't do it. but I will heatsink my space over and take 2 more basic shots against the enemy. Yeah, I forgot that I don't have my overdrive out. Let's play max.b, drawing 5 cards. And then I'll toggle the active cannon, I'll play a heat wave, and then a single draw shot. Which won't resolve its draw. The damage is resolved, the fight ends, and then the draw doesn't resolve, so Riggs stays with 7 as the charge on her flywheel. It's important for me to know, because I would really like to set myself up to have 1 extra energy at the start turn of every single fight. Quick thinking being 0 cost to draw 3 cards would be good. 1 cost to draw 3 is... It is good, but does it need its way in this deck with as much other draw as I have access to? I suspect not. The path is almost the same if I go north or south. So I'll go south.
Oh, my brain.
You all again.
An extraplanar being! Neat.
What do you value most?
Definitely not healing. If we ever get the full effect out of ephemeral repairs, we're already losing. Damage. Evasion? Definitely not evasion. It's got to be damage. I have a plethora of the rest, or don't need it. Oh my god. Heat wave. Then I fire a single draw shot on the enemy, and follow it up with a freeze dry, and the enemy is stunned. I could heat sink to lose a heat myself, but then I also have to use an evade to get it back. Oh, or I could admin deploy out one of the heat sinks and then naturally play the 0 cost one. Oh, that's so much better. Oh, you're not allowed to damage me. It's just illegal. Let's use second opinions to draw before I focus on anything else right now. Move 1 to the left and I can throw an EMP slug at him. Fire a basic shot in as well. Then single copy of ventilator, and I suspect what I want to do now is also another ventilator. I'm going to basic block and basic dodge before I play mathmux.b in order to make sure I draw as many cards as I can. I get a draw shot, which I will play after this heatsink. Then I play a draw shot so that I draw 2 cards with it still, because I want to make sure that I draw something that can follow up with another attack in order to stun. Excellent. The enemy's already doing 0 damage this turn. That's it, I'll make it even more 0 with this big old EMP slug and a basic shot to follow it up. Toggle which can's active, move 1 space in, and finish off Duncan. Reroute B. So deal 1 damage, draw 1 card, and also, when you play the leftmost or rightmost card in your hand, move left or right. Up against Hot Compress, and finally Prepare, drawing additional cards and giving additional energy next turn. I suspect Prepare is just the pick here. I certainly have many turns where I'm setting up. At the end of this turn, the enemy will wake up anyway. Boy. I'm going to toggle which cannon's active, and then I'm going to play a heatsink and then mathmax.b for drawing 6 cards here. Oh no, but it'll boost the negative, the draw less cards next turn, right? I have been just assuming that boost has the ability to add to a negative status instead of a positive status, but it makes the most sense to me. I could test it right now. Yep, yeah, it does. It works like that. Yeah. Probably should have figured. Anyway, enemy has 10 health. I do 10 damage with a hand cannon. Got him. Got him. Got him. Fleetfoot. Hermes Boots. Whenever you move one further. Lose this at the end of your turn. There's also backup stick. Make a temp copy of leftmost card and exothermic release. A piercing attack for -3 heat. If I had the ability, if I had the heat sinks, I believe it's called, the relic that allows you to collect up to -3 heat, I would definitely take the exothermic release, but I don't. Backup stick. Make a temp copy of your leftmost card. Of my leftmost card? My leftmost card, most of the time, sucks at this point. Cockpit lock-on. All enemy cockpits start with weak or grazer beam. Every time an attack misses the enemy by exactly 1 space, the enemy takes 1 damage. I'm gonna take the grazer beam here. Dang, Eunice, you hang out with these guys now?
Hey, it's Drake in front of non-pirates, come on!
Pff, sure, you gone soft.
Don't let their dumb faces fool you. These guys hit pretty hard.
Alright, if you say so. Oh, here's an example of a combo that I didn't think about in the deck that actually slaps. Ace B. Boom. My boost now gives me 2 evade every turn. I'm going to lock the enemy in their position by toggling my active cannon and using admin deploy to freeze dry. If I use mathemax.b, I would actually be able to draw additional, and that would give me the ability to counter the enemy's card. Just playing an attack. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to prevent this card with the EMP Slug, though. Then throw a Ventilator out on the field, drawing some cards. Second Opinion, drawing even more. This is exactly the right position for a hand cannon. So I'll use it. I also want to lower my heat more than I want to keep evade at this point because I'm gaining 2 evade per turn, and I'm already lined up for the Seeker to do 1 damage to me instead of 2 because it's going to hit my armored position. So I'm still taking no hull damage yet. I'm set to take 1 hull damage this turn though, so I'll use a heat wave, then toggle and fire a basic shot. And same action as last turn, I'll heat sinks and then move back. Oh no. Whoops. Messed that up. Because I changed the cannon, I was still going to be taking 1 damage to the enemy's missile. Burn a fumes out of this deck. Enemy has 8 hull. I'm not going to be able to take that out with the EMP Slug by myself this turn. Rude! I'm going to use a Prepare and Worm. Move 2 spaces out. And then this turn, I'm going to draw everything. Toggle the order of the hand, fire a draw shot, and a basic. I'll reroll the order of my hand so that I can use admin deploy to save 2 energy, burning out a corrupted core. Heat sinks 1 space over, gain a basic dodge, move 1 space back. If only we had a perpetual motion device. Ah well, I'll settle for a hand cannon and blow the enemy up 1 turn later. Firewall and Hot Compress we've already discussed. Memory Leak. Attack for 3 damage, add a static noise to your draw pile. Static noise. When drawn, while in hand, all cards exhaust. So you can upgrade this to be 0 cost or to do 1 more damage and add the static noise to our hand so it doesn't deny us a draw. Still don't need it. Adaptive plating. Gain 1 max hull and heal 1 every time you defeat a boss or an elite. Well, I can do that exactly 1 time against the final boss in the game. So there's nothing after that. A ventilator that doesn't discard cards is probably not as valuable to me as a ventilator that helps me vent my heat faster. I'm gonna take a ventilator B upgrade. Oh, hello, Crabman. So I've got 4 colors of card in my deck, so if I play Second Opinions, my hand cannon is lined up for big damage. Let's toggle the active cannon. Big hand cannon. Move 1 space over to fire a draw shot. And prepare for the next turn. I could use mathmax.b and then play out the scramble as well. You know what? I will. It's more draw, so it's more energy, and it also gives me the ability to get 2 extra evade, noting that I haven't played Ace B in this cycle. And of course, its downside is already well accounted for by other things there. Let's toggle the cannon, fire an EMP slug against the enemy's missile or drone generation there. I'm gonna Vamoose, and then heatsink 1 space over, and the enemy is no longer targeting me. Heat Wave into Heat Sink so that I'm not ruined this turn. Move 1 space even further over, and we're all good. I'm gonna fire a basic shot before I use Ventilator B. But it's all good, because we draw everything we would have needed to. I'll fire an EMP slug at the enemy to prevent them from hitting me. And also to do a ridiculous amount of damage. 6 in that particular instance. Oh, I see you running away out there. Coward. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna fire a draw shot and then a big ol' hand cannon at you, buddy. See, it does attack twice. I suspect I could find a lot of value in Seer. And then I will upgrade Seer not to burn me, maybe? No. Heat sinks to have another 0 cost. Considering the amount of draw, that seems the most impactful. Time to go! Good luck. Oh my god, I got the Heatwave B, the opening hand! We did it! Heat sinks whilst space over. I will toggle cannon. And then fire 2 basic shots. The second one preventing 5 damage from incoming, and admin deploy out another block in order to take less damage this turn as well. If I'd done that correctly and ordered the swap, then the first attack, I would have actually been able to prevent the incoming 2 this turn as well. It would have been better. I would have dealt 2 less damage, but I would have taken 2 less damage against my shields. Definitely seems worthwhile. Time for a second opinion here in this hand, though. Great. Toggle Witch Cannon's active, and... Bugger, I shouldn't have done it that time either. I could have prevented both of these from doing anything by firing the EMP slug first, and then another slug with an attack later. Oh boy. Let's use EMP slug B, firing the Ephemeral Blast as well. And then prepare for a big turn next up. I'm gonna lose 1 health to my hull. Okay, this turn definitely feels correct to toggle first. I'll fire the hand cannon and then Sear. Which will stun the largest source of incoming damage to me this turn. I'd have to take 1 hull damage. I'm gonna gain scramble, yep. And heck, moving 1 space over, I'm still taking 1 hull damage. And I'm even further away from the heavy missile. Incoming damage this turn is 0. So I'm gonna generate resources. Ace B. Gain some extra evade and more evade per turn. Should definitely go with the draw shot first here. I'm gonna pop a ventilator now as well. I'm looking for another attack, which I find in this basic shot. Move 1 space to the left and fire that basic shot to prevent incoming damage. And then fire another basic shot, leaving the enemy on basically no HP. Heat sinks myself back into a better position. And I think I'm ready to kill you on the next turn, buddy. What do you think about that? What do you think about that? Oh, I see. You don't seem to be a particularly large fan, and as a result, you've given me nothing in hand that I can really use for damage. Well, what about this one? The big old hand cannon. That's the Cobalt gone again.
You are growing stronger. Who shall it be this time?
Riggs, please! What is this?
Be still.
You mentioned a broken chime stream? Is that like my past? Is that why so many of my memories are hazy?
Yes, you more so than any. Now, be still.
Okay. Cobalt STC, this is G72 Artemis, requesting permission to dock.
Copy, G72 Artemis. State your cargo and passenger roster.
Cargo sheet lists 30 tons of water, 10 tons of rations, and 2 tons of science equipment.
Copy. Proceeding to docking port 5.
Please sign here, and here, and here.
Who are you? What happened to the last delivery pilot?
I'm Riggs. I just started today. The last pilot got spooked by some pirates and quit. So they installed a cannon on the Artemis and hired me.
And you know how to handle yourself in combat?
I do, yeah.
Good. And you'll be the pilot for our regular deliveries from now on?
Unless I get blown up.
That certainly hasn't happened yet and won't under my watch, Riggs. That's another victory under our belt. And... ba-boom! I can only imagine this was going to be the case. Books! An alchemist. Her cards use Shard as a resource to power up defense movements and mid-row actions. Well, I can tell you what. We're definitely going to have those 2 on our squad next turn, and we're also going to be using the Jupiter. So until then, my name has been Rhapsody, the name of the game. Still being Cobalt Core. Top left is a series playlist for all my content of the game, past, present, and future. A YouTube recommendation down below for what it thinks you should watch and stream past are the names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays, and above the thank you, and a special thanks to Jazzy. Hopefully you'll have been enjoying yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you all next time.